big plantation. I got a very special story today from a very special friend of mine. Now, if this doesn't worry all of my audience, I don't know what will. What we have here is government intimidating people, activists that are standing up and fighting for our freedoms. So, don't let this get you down. If you think that, you need to get up and stand up for your rights and, say no to the man, there's no reason that you need to get scared. Just because they're doing this to people, don't worry about it. But I'm going to go into who this guy is. He's a good friend of mine. A lot of you may already know him. His name's Michael Heiss. He is a big-time activist. He organized End the Fed, End the Wars a little whiles back. He worked for Adam versus the Man. He's been to basically every major activist event in the Northeast. 9/11 truther, big-time Ron Paul supporter, good friend of mine. Know him very personal. Great guy. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Nicest guy, in the world. So I'm going to have him on here. He's going to explain exactly what is going on. You'll be surprised. First, I'm going to read the comment that got him in trouble. Alright? Or is getting him in trouble. We'll see. So he's organizing with others in a group called Truth, Freedom, Prosperity. A nationwide End the Fed in Philadelphia. Now this happens once or twice a year, mainly 2 times a year. Sometimes we've had it 5 times a year in Philadelphia. So he goes around on Facebook and he's posting the event all across different groups' walls. This is exactly what he was posting. May 18th is going to be a hell of a day. First we're going to actually physically end the Fed. Then right across the street we're going to engage in civil disobedience and end the drug war at Smoke Down Prohibition 5. It's going to be a hell of a day. We're going to interact with all kinds of people. Come on out for at least one of them and bring all your friends. So, he writes that, he goes and posts the event all across different groups' walls. Well, somebody was like, what exactly did he mean by physically end the Fed? So they go to the event wall. Any logical person that has a question, well, this guy's posting the event everywhere, why don't we ask on the event wall? So on the event wall it says, what do you mean by, quote, physically ending the Fed? Mike Heiss replies, we're going to be physically there ending the Fed. Wink, it's tongue-in-cheek. Now, I got Mike on the line here. He's going to explain a little bit about exactly what he meant and what has happened because of this comment and posting on all these different groups. Michael Heiss, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, man.
So, tell me your story. What exactly is going on here?
Well, basically, a lot of it is, I'm in the speculation stage right now, but what I do know is that while I was away, job hunting, I was out of my house all day today. When I got back, my dad informed me that 2 people from the FBI came here and paid a visit looking for me.
So, two FBI agents, they can't just send one, they gotta send 2 to intimidate you. Came looking for you for what?
Well, right now that's where I'm kind of speculating. But what my dad said is that they told my dad that that they saw me on Adam versus the Man, and they asked him why what I'm talking about physically ending the Fed. And my dad told him, I'm not a violent person. I'm out job hunting right now. We've done a lot of these end the Feds. Nothing's ever bad happened there. And, they told my dad that I'm not in any trouble, but they just want to talk to me. And they gave him a phone number and a name for me to call.
Yeah, of course you're not in trouble because you see, when they're waterboarding you, they're not actually killing you. They're just torturing you. So...
Well, like I said, right now I'm just trying to err on the side of caution because I know that if I blow them off and I don't call them tomorrow, they're just going to show up at my house at some later date, and try it again. You know what I mean? So I'm just I would like to control the flow of information before they do, because I have not established any contact with them yet. So I would like to just get this all on the record, because it's kind of silly. I mean, I don't just think there's anything threatening in that statement, and it's been rectified. And if anybody did take it in a threatening way, and not to mention just looking at my my history and everybody's history that I've ever been involved in. Like I there's never been anything even kind of violent at any of these events.
No, and you know what? Physically ending the Fed is not violent. There's nothing violent about being physical. We're there, we're physically chanting, we're physically marching, running up and down the street. The Fed needs to be ended. I'm all for ending the Fed, ending the World Trade Organization, and ending all of them, ending everything that has to do with this whole cabal. So, I don't see where they have to worry about this. And I really don't even think it has anything to do with End the Fed, because the End the Fed movement hasn't really been contacted by the FBI. Has anybody? I mean, I don't know anyone in the End the Fed that has been harassed by the FBI. I mean, everybody I know that's been contacted by anybody from the government is usually in the sovereignty movement. They're telling people things they really don't want people to know. And I'm having a feeling that what Adam's doing down there in D.C. is somehow connected to this. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation. They did go out of their way to tell my dad that they saw me on Adam versus the Man. My dad told them, hey, he's going to want to film, your interactions. And they said, yeah, we know. We've seen his stuff. We'll see about that, is basically what he said. Now, to be fair, my dad told me, he described them to me, and he said that, they were plain clothes, they didn't have any guns, they didn't have anything like that. They were very non-threatening. It was a pretty lighthearted conversation that they just wanted to talk to me. And
well, they conceal carry.
They presented themselves as they weren't threatening, they weren't overbearing, whatever. So I'll be fair in that regard, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them. We all know the history of the FBI with setting people up and false flags and agent provocateurs and all this crazy stuff. So I just I just, like I said, I wanted to get this on record as a precaution before I talk to them tomorrow, so that because I don't know what's going to come out of that conversation.
Well, if they tell you to bring a backpack anywhere and meet them there, you don't bring a backpack anywhere, okay?
Didn't plan on it, no.
That's a bad idea.
I think they want me to physically meet, but according to my dad, and they said, oh, you can either come to Allentown or we can meet you halfway, and I'm not interested in that at all. I think it should be, I'm going to try and keep this to the phone.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why you need to go out of your way for them. Come on back to my house if you want to talk to me. That's the way I'd look at it. And then, like you've been doing with every interaction you have with authority, like the one video on Cop Block with the Exton cop, you need to videotape them and hold them accountable, because we need to...
Oh, yeah, I plan on filming every interaction I have with them, because, like I said, I'm dealing with people that are potentially dangerous and that I don't trust. And if I have it my way, hopefully this really is about just that Facebook post, and they'll say, oh, what did you mean by that? And I'll say, it was nothing bad intended. You can come check out we hope you come check out the event. Maybe you'll learn something. You'll see there's no violence, and leave it at that. Hopefully that's really is what this is all about.
All right. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to chime in on that?
Not really, man. I just, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into speculation, and because that's a lot of what it is right now. All I know is that I was visited. This is what they said, and I have to talk to them tomorrow. So, just making a record, and also for the record, I would never espouse violence on anything. I've never ever once said that we should be violent, or that I have never been personally violent. Nothing in my history has ever been violent. The last bit of violence I had was a fist fight in like 8th grade. So
yeah.
it's you know, they can't really get me on anything then. I've always espoused, you know, peaceful interaction and voluntary interaction and things of that nature. So, yeah, just wanted to create the record.
All right, well, Michael, thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate it. And like I said before, man, watch your back, definitely. But we're all going to be looking out for you. Everybody in the Liberty Movement, we love you, Mike, and you hang in there and don't let them get you a nervous wreck, because there's no reason to be worried about this, man. It's just a bunch of strong-arm tactics they're trying to pull on people. All right?
I hear you, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I think this is people, if you've been on this Adam Kokesh is throwing this event in Washington, D.C. The event is on July 4th, and it's an open carry from the Virginia Cemetery into Washington, D.C., around the Capitol, around the White House, and back to Virginia. Now, the law states that you can travel through Washington, D.C. with a firearm, and that the federal government actually has a federal law that says that you cannot arrest anybody if they're traveling from one state to another. Now, if you're traveling from Virginia through Washington, D.C. back to Virginia, you're technically just traveling through Washington, D.C. Now, this loophole in the law that I don't think they like very much, I think Adam Kokesh actually thought it out real well. And they really cannot do anything. Meanwhile, you have a lot of statists, liberals, communists, anarchists, libertarians, and Republicans. There's a lot of people upset about what Adam Kokesh is doing. But honestly, what difference is it between what he is doing and what our founding fathers did? He's standing up for our rights, and he's actually rallying people. He's pulling people together. Here's my suggestion. If you really love to have your Constitution, if you want to have a future of freedom in America, ladies and gentlemen, go there. Be there. There needs to be a lot of people there. There needs to be Ted Nugent there. I'm pretty sure Ted Nugent said, if Obama's elected this time next year, now that should be this past February, he should have been arrested or dead. Okay? Now, all I'm hearing is a bunch of talk and not a lot of walk. So, Ted Nugent, where are you at? Why aren't you backing up Mr. Adam Kokesh? And Adam Kokesh, thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it. And Mike Heiss and everybody else, all of my buddies out there, all the women, all the men, everybody that's out in the streets doing activism, thank you. We are all doing our parts, and they are scared. That is why they are doing what they're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining the Big Plantation Podcast. Check out the Facebook group, or Facebook page. It's The Big Plantation. Facebook, The Big Plantation. Thank you very much, and until we meet again.